Carroll bringing it forward. Thompson's making the run. Carroll hangs on to it though. Still Davy Carroll. Could go all the way here. Oh, what a goal!
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Ringing the Blues, the official Wycombe Wanderers podcast in partnership with Virgin Media. On the show this week we have John Bignell, the Wycombe Wanderers fan, and his tremendous memories on Till Death Us Do Part. We'll hear from the Wealdstone fans following the FA Cup second round tie at their place on Saturday. But first, let's catch up with the action from that match from Grosvenor Vale, Wealdstone versus Wycombe Wanderers. Wycombe were the top-ranked team left in the competition, and the TV cameras were in town to try and capture an FA Cup shock. They nearly got a good start in that endeavour, with Reed firing over somehow from a superb cross from Wealdstone. The National League side were playing in front of a record crowd at their Grosvenor Vale home, and was certainly roared on by that crowd too early on, creating another chance which had to be well saved by Jamal George in the Wycombe goal. However, the Chairboys, with 11 changes coming into this one, found the quality when required. Berlila Bala with the free kick.
1-0 to the Chairboys. Berlila Bala curling in from 25 yards, right footed, over the wall into the top corner. The keeper left the gap, couldn't get across. Wealdstone 0, Wycombe 1.
Wealdstone started the second half strongly as well, again attacking their fans behind the goal of Jamal George, but Wycombe stood firm under some intense pressure at the start from the Stones. Wycombe introduced Luke Leahy and Richard Kone in the second half, and it was the substitutions that really made the difference and sealed it for Wycombe Wanderers. Kone took the ball on the left-hand side before out-muscling the defence and firing past the goalkeeper to make it safe for Wycombe Wanderers with 6 minutes to play.
84 minutes on the clock here at Grosvenor Vale. It's Wealdstone 0, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Richard Kone off the bench and he scored another goal. Wycombe edging closer to the third round draw. Wealdstone have put up a brave fight. It's been scrappy, but the subs look like they've made the difference here. Wealdstone 0, Wycombe 2, 6 to play.
So a potential banana skin avoided for the Chairboys, and they're in the hat for the third round draw. After the full-time whistle, I bumped into J.F. Cumming, Wycombe author and FA Cup enthusiast.
Dear J.F. Cumming, the FA Cup king, we're in the third round.
Up to the cup.
I thought you were trying right now.
Yeah, haven't seen anything yet. Didn't see anything the whole game.
You come down from Scotland for this, is it worth it?
Always good to see the Wycombe.
Who's you got in the third round?
Man United.
Okay.
Away,
Man United.
Or Everton, Dixon.
Yeah, okay. We'll do that. Either one, yeah?
I'll take either, yeah.
You don't want to first, you little back
Rub the Wycombe!
Gaffer, it was all about not being the story today, safely through to the third round.
Absolutely, that was the fear at the start of the day, being the story of the second round, you know, live TV here and big crowd and everything that goes with it. So we just wanted to make sure we conducted ourselves in the right manner. I spoke to the players about that this morning, and we wanted to be the most professional team in the draw and conduct ourselves in the right way, and I think we did that today.
Wealdstone, no credit to them, they gave you a good game today.
Absolutely, mate. Matt is a proper football man and he's done a good job here. We knew the threats that they were going to hold. We knew that the atmosphere was going to create inside the ground. There's going to be some really awkward moments for us in the game. That was to be seen, and we knew that was coming. But I thought we dealt with the majority of those quite well. There's a couple of moments when we didn't. We got a little bit of luck here and there, but we could have had a couple more ourselves. And to run out 2-0 winners, we have to be very pleased.
What's the difference today? The quality in the finishing, great free kick and a great goal from Kone. Kone?
Yeah, we've had a threat at the top of the pitch all season, haven't we? And the boys are obviously full of confidence and belief, and we've got that front group that we try and rotate and utilise as much as we possibly can because of the amount of games we have and, the pace and the energy we want to play with. So, it's 2 really good finishes today, and we have to be very, very pleased, mate.
11 wins in a row now as well in all competitions. That's some stat. If some stat at 10, it's an even better one at 11.
Yeah, it's incredible, and to make 11 changes, it shows the togetherness of the group. We talk about togetherness, we talk about being a group, and at times as a manager, all times you have to live your values and your beliefs. So I think there was always going to be a risk that it was going to be slightly clunky today with so many changes and expecting the players to go out and deliver in the way they did. But I thought they were excellent. The attitude and the application was excellent. To get 11 wins in a row is obviously, very, very nice for us.
And on top of that as well, it's a slopey pitch, tight pitch, vociferous home crowd as well, here for the shock. You had to deal with those things too.
Yeah, there's a reason why it was live on TV. It was a reason why we were the early kick-off. It was a reason, all these things come with a reason. That's because everyone was hoping there might be an upset and then we might be the story. So we had to deal with all those bits, and it's all slightly different. It was an early start. It was slightly different grounds what we used to. All those things are slightly different. I spoke to the players this morning about us being us and absolutely retaining those values that we stand for, and that was the thing I was looking for, and that's the thing that they did today. And I'm really proud of the group as a whole group, because it's not easy sometimes to come in from not playing and produce a performance, especially in tough circumstances. So yeah, absolutely, really, really proud of them.
All boxes ticked today, through to the next round. Protected players changed with the game coming up Tuesday, clean sheet and in the hat. All the boxes ticked?
Yeah, absolutely. And some really good performances in there as well, and some valuable minutes for the boys, because at any point there might be injuries and we need players ready to go, and that the competition for places is what's driven us on this season. So yeah, lots of boxes ticked, and really, really pleased with the day's work.
Right, here we go. Cliche alert. Who do you want in the third round?
I just said it twice. For me, it's Manchester United. I've never played against them or competed against them, just because of the boys in '92, class of '92 as I grew up. But there's so many incredible football clubs. It would just be a proud moment for me if we get one of those. But we're looking to progress as far as we possibly can.
Bez, a tricky fixture, but Wycombe weren't the story today, which was the main thing they've got through.
Yes, the lads approached the game very well. We knew it was going to be a difficult game. Obviously the pitch and things like that, and the atmosphere, coming to a club that are doing very well in their league as well. So we had to be positive from the start, and I think we did that.
Was the difference in the finishing today as well? Your goal was fantastic.
Yeah, obviously building up to that, great work from the team to get in that position, and I'm happy I could put the free kick away. Obviously it's a great moment for myself, but most importantly it helped us kick on, and Richard came on second half and put the game to bed for us.
There's a bit of a build up to the free kick, plenty of time to think about it. Was it always going in that top corner?
To be fair, me and Butch had a talk about it, both standing on either side, and to see what the keeper does with the ball. And after looking at that, it suited me. So yeah, I was happy to take it, and I'm just glad it went in.
And Rich got his goal coming off the bench in the second half, an important second goal as well at that stage of the game, in a tight game like that, in a knockout game.
Yeah, 100%. We thought we could have had a lot more goals. Obviously, Taff came close as well with a few corners. So it was just great for us to get that second goal and put the game to sleep really. And because they started picking up a bit of momentum as well in the second half at times when we gave away a few sloppy balls. But it was just great to get the second goal, and happy for Rich to get another one. Confidence is up. 2 different players scored again in the attacking line, and it just helps us going into Exeter on Tuesday.
And momentum is just building. That's 11 wins in a row in all competitions. That's some special run.
Yeah, very special, and we've got a special group. Everyone's pushing each other in training. Competition is really, really high, so everyone wants to play, everyone wants to start, and that just breeds a winning mentality in the whole group. And we know that we've got to keep at it, because teams will be looking at us now trying to stop this streak, but obviously for us we want to keep it going for as long as possible.
And credit to Wealdstone, they really made a game of it today.
Yes, they did. They made it very difficult. Like I said, they're doing well in their league, picking up good results. We analysed them and we saw what they was good at, and we had to be aware of that, especially the front two working off each other. They was working really well, dropping on second balls. But yeah, I think we did very well against their threat, and yeah, delighted that we could get the win today.
Draws on Monday night. Who do you want?
I got asked this question with the other guys, and yeah, my answer's pretty much the same. It's we're not really bothered who we get. We got the confidence at the moment, so we're happy to go anywhere, and hopefully we can get the job done once again.
Rich, congratulations, a goal and Wycombe in the third round. You must be feeling good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, incredible feeling. We're through the next round, and the boys did well today again. So yeah, we got to take the next round.
All the cameras were here because they wanted the upset, they wanted the story, but Wycombe, very professional today, just got the job done.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be a tough game, and you know, the cameras, the fans, it's packed out. So yeah, we did. The boys they dealt with it really well. Not play under pressure. They've done a good job, and we've been clinical, and yeah, that's what pays off.
Talk us through the goal. I couldn't actually see it. I was in the terrace, so I could only see the top half of your body. Talk me through the goal.
I think I got a bit lucky towards the end. So the ball through the top, hold it properly, turn, get in the box, and the right centre back coming back, but he missed his backward pass, and I'm through. That's a good pass, good assist for me. Can't give me something like that in the box. So yeah, I'm really happy with the goal.
Great finish, and in front of the Wycombe fans as well, and they're showing you a lot of love now. It's great to hear your name being sung. Great being on the terrace hearing that first hand today. How does that feel when you hear them singing your name?
It's incredible. I remember where I used to play, we couldn't have like one fans, but to have this pack like that, and every day, week in, week out, they're just there for us, supporting us every day. We just have to be grateful and say thank you to them to be behind us every day. So thank you to them.
And tell me about the dressing room, because that's 11 wins in a row now in all competitions. What's the vibe like in there now?
Yeah, we're happy, and at the same time we gotta be careful as well, because you just don't want to be too high in your high moment, and when it's too low you go down as well. So we're just doing 50-50, but we're happy to go on a good run. So it's all good. It's all good.
And the game's thick and fast now. Tuesday night, it's a long trip to Exeter, but these games keep coming round.
Yeah. There's no rest. It's just keep on coming. So we have to like play a game, switch onto the next one, and get ready to go again. And Exeter is going to be a tough game. So I think we're ready as well. So we're going to go there and prove ourselves. Well,
the night before Exeter is the FA Cup third round draw. It's when the big boys come into the tournament. Who do you want?
Like I said, anyone. We're ready. We know what we can do. So any team in front of us, we're just going to go and play our football and implement ourselves and just get the football that we can do. We know. We're just going to play the football that we know, and we get through that.
I'm thinking Richard Kone goal at Old Trafford. What do you reckon?
I don't know. That would be good as well. Massive. That would be massive.
Well, I wouldn't bet against it.
Nah.
Great to hear from the gaffer, Belly Labala and Richard Kone. But what about the Stones fans? They packed out their home ground and created a fantastic atmosphere in front of the TV cameras. They had their chances, but what did the Stones fans make of it all? Here's the opposition view. Nick Degard.
There's always a feeling after these big matches of what if and what could have been. But did we really expect to win today? Realistically, no. But the Stones gave a very decent account of themselves against the top League One side. A great, well-organised day. Congratulations to the club.
Andy Gibbs.
We didn't get the rub of the green, but that's football for you. If we'd taken our chances, we'd have been in the bag on Monday.
Sarin Rowell.
I'm incredibly proud right now. You couldn't tell which team was top of League One and which one was in the National League for most of the game. It came down to excellent finishing, and had we taken our chances? Who knows?
D. Lee.
We did okay. Missed a great chance, and then fell behind to a superbly taken free kick, whilst, ironically, our free kicks were largely poor all game. But it's encouraging to see that we were competitive and well organised.
Tom.
Honestly, we performed better overall than Wycombe, in my opinion. We looked great out there considering the supposed difference in quality of football, and we should have scored some of the chances we missed.
Destroyer.
Well, that was an undeserved loss. We had much the better chances, and the ref decisions were all in their favour.
OAZP 5.
The Stones gave everything they could. Great performance. Luck just wasn't there today. Nobody could do anything about the amazing free kick, and Wycombe are just a good side. So, Stones, hold your heads up high. You were great.
Adam Clancy.
We were unlucky. We gave a good account of ourselves. On another day, Reed scores and we're ahead. But in the end, a great free kick saw us go behind. We never stopped fighting though, and there were some credible performances against tough opposition in Wycombe. It's all about survival now.
Chris Lane.
We fought really hard, but needed to take our chances against a strong and professional team. If we continue like this, we should finish comfortably lower or mid-table. We need more options off the bench though, especially going forwards. We should have plenty of money in the bank now, at least.
There's been a rumour that there's a new lightning-fast player in town, and I can confirm these rumours are correct. Virgin Media is here and is guaranteed to be a crowd pleaser. If you're tired of your broadband giving you the blues every time you want to do something, fear not. Virgin Media are right here in Wycombe and have brought their lightning-fast full fibre to the area to keep you entertained in between matches. Tuck into as many live sporting events, movies, games and tunes as your heart desires. Not forgetting our podcast with unlimited downloads on Virgin Media's intelligent Wi-Fi. All delivered at the speeds you need to keep the whole house happy. And the best part is, you don't need to wait until the next transfer window to make Virgin Media your favourite signing of the season. Find out more at virginmedia.com or drop into your local O2 store. New customers only, eligible Virgin Fibre areas only, subject to survey, network capacity and credit check. Supporting a football club is like a marriage. Your club is there for life through the good times and the bad. We ask Chairboys fans for their most cherished old memory, their current favourite player, the best borrowed player we've ever had, and for something blue, we talk club merchandise.
John, I've been meaning to get you on this feature for a long time because you must have countless Wycombe Wanderers memories. Where does it all start for you in our club?
Well, I'm told it's 1954, although to be honest, I don't really remember much about that. I did get taken by my dad. I badgered him to take me to football so much, and I think I was 5 or 6, and he took me to a couple of games. I vaguely remember rolling down the bank at the hospital end of Lokes Park without taking any notice of the football. But the first game I really remember is the game against Uganda, 1956, I think second or third game of the season. The Uganda national team were over this in England on tour, and Wycombe played them, and I was taken to watch it, and I was mesmerised by it. I mean, I watched it from in front of the old main stand.
Here's Paul Bates landing another one. Nearly half-time, and according to the experts, it's 6-0. Sorry, 7-0. But in the second half, the Uganda team seems to be finding its feet, with or without boots. Left winger Kalibana starts an African attack across the Wycombe goal. The centre forward Owiti dodges the defence and heads it to Seruwagi, and it's in. The crowd cheers Uganda's only goal, but the visitors are on the defensive again. Frank Smith clinches it at 10-1.
So that was quite, wow, this is interesting. But yeah, so that's the first real memory. But I would say the season after Wembley, the 57 Wembley, was the season I started going on a regular basis. And it's interesting that we're sort of FA Cup time at the moment, and one of the earliest FA Cup matches I remember was against Wisbech Town, a first round match. They were flying high in the Southern League, which at that time was, you know, the major, bit like the Conference today, I guess, or the National League, but lots of old pros. They had 3 pros that had played for England in the previous few years: Jesse Pye, Billy Elliott, Bernard Stretton, and we beat them 4-2. We scored 2 in the first 5 minutes and 2 in the last 5 minutes, and they scored 2 in between, so it went 2-0, 2-0, 4-2, and I think there was just under 8,000 there, and the atmosphere was fantastic, and that I was absolutely hooked from then on.
You don't look old enough, John, to be going all that way back, if I'm honest.
Well, it's very nice of you to say that, Phil. You might want to borrow these. I don't
We're here on a match at Adams Park.
Yeah.
Before the Mansfield Town game, the teams are just coming in now as well. But you're heavily involved with the club as well. You're not just a super fan. You're part of the Ex-Players Association, which is a huge part of what we do here. You work on a match day here as well. You're around the place helping out. So this club really means everything to you, right?
It does mean everything to me, yeah. I mean, going back to my school days, I mean, from Monday it got me through to Wednesday to go and get my ticket if it was an away game, and from Wednesday through to Saturday to go and watch the game. I loved away games, but Saturdays at Lokes Park was fantastic, and you know, you grow up with a group of players out there and they become your heroes. I'm lucky because you know, as you say, I've been about a long time now, so I've worked it out, it's about 65 years, so it's almost a perfect split between league and non-league, or if you want to, you know, or almost Lokes Park and Adams Park. But I've had so many generations of players that I've seen come through, so this thinking about this in advance, I have to say it's been quite difficult.
The Ex-Players annual dinner was the other week. It's a great night, and it was celebrating the Football League era, but you know, we got players in the association that go back to the 50s that still come to these events, and you know, it's a really special association that this club has with them.
It is, yeah. I mean, about a month ago I organised a lunch at Bisham for the players that played in the 50s. I took it on from a guy called Derek Drafford who used to do it. He sadly passed away, so the players of that era wanted it, so I said, okay, well, I'll organise it. And we had two there in their 90s, Dennis Syra, who you interviewed I know last year, being one of them. And it's their love for the club is still the same. You know, they want to know what's going on now, and obviously they don't manage to get up these games anymore. But and then you go down through the generations, and that event that we had the other week, you get people that are 30 years apart. They may have never even met each other before, but they've got this common bond, and they meet each other, and it's Wycombe Wanderers, and it's just in you, I think, basically.
There was a beautiful moment with Glyn Creaser and Adebayo Akinfenwa gave each other a hug. And I think that's a perfect example of what you just said. Two players that probably never had their paths crossed before, but for the allegiance of this club, it almost felt as one.
Absolutely, and I got a head hug from both of them, and I'm still suffering from it now.
Well, John, this is going to be an incredibly tricky question, this first one. It is for a lot of people, and I think it's going to be very difficult for you. Your favourite ever Wycombe Wanderers memory?
Wow. It is difficult because, as I say, there have been so many. So I tried to sort of think, well, okay, well, let's go Lokes Park, Adams Park. That's probably the easiest thing. So my favourite memory really is just Adams Park, because having watched Wycombe for, as I say, since the late 50s, get to 1991 and we're suddenly at Wembley. We've been trying to get there for all these years, and we're at Wembley and we're playing in a cup final, and we win with a diving header from the local boy. I mean, that to me is it was almost like the sort of the build up of all those years of watching. We'd finally done it, you know, and obviously from that point on we went on to do it again and other great things. I mean, we'd won a few things before then. We won the Isthmian League. I mean, that was another great moment. The first time we won the Isthmian League with me, which is 1971-72. That was a fantastic moment. I think Keith Searle scored a brilliant goal. So I've got loads and loads, but that to me I think has got to be the number one.
It was my first time at Wembley, or the old Wembley as it is now, but you're right, that felt to me like the ultimate cup final, because you know, everyone's dreamt of scoring at Wembley, and I guess if you were going to score a winning goal at Wembley, it would be a diving header, and the fact that it was Westy as well, like you say, it's almost a script that was perfectly written.
Well, I'll tell you a funny little story about that Westy worked round the corner from where I worked, and there was a pub which we always used to go to, people from my company, on a Monday lunchtime, and I'm going across there and Wesley comes the other way with a sandwich or something in his hand. He's been around the shop, and I said, "Oh, Mark, fantastic, you're great to see you." And I said, "Come on over there." No, he said, "I've got to get back to work." He said, I said, "Oh, come on over. There's loads of people in here who want to see you." So he said, "Oh, okay." So I take him in, and of course the place goes in uproar. Wesley, well, he was there for an hour, and he said, "Look, I must go. So in the end, I said, "Where do you work?" And he told me. So I walked round the corner, knocked on the door of this factory, spoke to this guy, it was his boss, took him with me, took him back round, and I think we all left the pub about 5:30 that afternoon.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, a real Wycombe legend, and he kind of sort of had one foot in Loaks Park and he came to Adams Park too.
Yeah, he bridges it, doesn't he? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Right. I'm not sure if this is easier or not, because you're around Adams Park on a match day now as well. Yeah. You know the players very well, and you see them all, what they do on the pitch. So something new, your favourite player in the current squad?
Yeah, that's quite difficult. But in a way, it's not, because it's Josh Scowen. Yeah. I just love the way he plays football. I just love his enthusiasm. I love his skill. I just love everything about him. So yeah, he would be. I mean, there's some really great players at the moment. I mean, if you'd have asked me this last year or the year before, it would have been more difficult, because I probably would have said Joe Jacobson. Yeah. Who I think was absolutely fantastic. As I said at the dinner, I introduced when Joe, we gave Joe that award, as you know, the live membership award, and I said he was the best left back that we've had since we've been in the league, and I think he is, and I don't think many people would argue with that. No. And we highlighted that night basically on his goal scoring, didn't we? We the 3 goals, the hat tricks, all the dead ball situations, but actually he was a damn good defender as well. I mean, the way he backed up the forwards, Joe was great, but with the present team, it's definitely Josh. Yeah,
fabulous player, and a great guy as well. Quite understated, but every dressing room needs those mixtures of characters, and he's the ultimate reliable player for me.
He is, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's, as you say, he's there. He's very understated, very unassuming, but what a difference when he crosses that touchline. Yeah. I mean, the other team know he's there, and so he's my type of player. Although, funnily enough, and I know this is going back to the old days, if you ask me, and you haven't, but I'm going to tell you anyway, my favourite player of all time was Len Worley. Yeah. Totally different player. Winger. Beat people on the dribble, beat them once, beat them twice, beat them 3 times, very rarely. Across the ball when he wanted to, but he was an entertainer, and that's what he wanted to do. But there was also a guy round about in the early 70s called Larry Pritchard, who was a box-to-box midfielder, scored lots of goals, very skillful player, and he's very close to up there as well. But I couldn't get away without mentioning those two.
Absolutely. Well, Josh is a worthwhile entry into this, and we hope to see him back on the pitch soon. He's got a little knock at the moment, but we speak before the Mansfield game, so hopefully we'll see him back out there very soon. On to something borrowed. Now, this could either be your favourite ever loanee or a player that you wish we'd signed but never did or never have. Yeah,
it's quite difficult. I mean, because I've listened to some of these recently, and people say the obvious players, as you would. I mean, I think Alfie Mawson probably had the biggest impact in that first season. Eze, obviously, very good player. I'd go back into the 80s, I think, when we had Barry Silkman on loan, who'd played for Manchester City, and he played a dozen or so games for us. I can't remember exactly how many, but he that was something a bit special, because we weren't used to having players on loan, really, and so that was something different. But actually, I'm going to go for this, because I think that this team is going to be something special, and I think when we look back on it, we'll look back on the players that are in it, of what they did for us, and they may remain players that are on loan. We might not see them again, but so I think Humphreys and Morley as a midfield, absolutely brilliant. I'm going to go for Cameron Humphreys, basically because I love his confidence, I love his touch, and I love the way he'll take a player on head on. he's not turning back. He's that confidence to do it. So I'm going to go for Cameron.
And you've just seen a lot of people wear the quarters down the years, or the sky blue as it would have been earlier on. But when you see a player receive the ball in a tight space, and they just seem to have a lot more time than everybody else, you just know straight away, don't you?
You do. It's those extra seconds, and those players are different. And you know, there's loads and loads of good players about, but the people that can give themselves that extra time just by arriving late or anticipating, that they are special, and I think he will be.
Yeah, and before the Mansfield game we speak, just to reiterate that, an incredible run for Cameron Humphreys in the Football League. I think it's 20 odd games now where he hasn't tasted defeat, and his last defeat in a Football League match was for Ipswich here at Adams Park back in 2022. That's an amazing run.
That is, yeah. I remember that game very well,
Brandon Hanlon scored, freezing cold. So that's not, I mean, that's nearly half a season.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that goes on and on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And assists galore that we've seen from him. But he's got an incredible knack of scoring in front of the terrace here at Adams Park too.
He has, And he both on the goals that he scored have all been worthwhile, haven't they? They have all been crackers. So,
And how do you feel about loanies? Because you say sometimes we might not see them again, and we always have to say never try and fall in love with a loanee. But I mean, we talk about it with Alfie and Eze and stuff like that. We have an immense amount of pride, don't we, in these players?
Absolutely. And I mean, going last year with Freddie Potts, you know, I got to know Freddie Potts reasonably well when he was here, and he loved being here. I think it's great for them. It's great for them in their career, whatever path it goes afterwards. But I think being involved with the club here, and we talk about the culture here all the time, but it is something special. And almost every player that comes in that I speak to says that this club is different to any other club they play for. Some of them have played for probably a dozen clubs. But you know, the youngsters come in, they fit in, they're accepted by the present players. They're playing with seasoned pros sometimes that have been about for 10 years or more, but they all seem to get on very well. And so I think, I mean, the loan market's there. Why not use it?
I've always threatened to do this, but because I've always been at Wycombe as a fan, and then this is the only football club I've ever worked for. I did a bit of reporting on others and stuff like that, so I've got no real frame of reference. But like everyone always says, this club's different, but I've never really been able to put my finger on why we're so special.
I think it must be, and I mean, like you, I haven't really thought about it, but I think it must be the people, and obviously the people over the years have changed, but whether it's because of our position, geographically, I don't know. But most people are really nice people. That's all I got. You know, you walk around the club here, you talk to the stewards, you talk to the people selling the cups of tea. Everybody is really nice, and I think that rubs off. And a player will come in, and we always try to make players feel as comfortable and as home as possible from day one. And they seem to respond to that, and that sort of permeates its way through the club. It's whatever it is. It's great. It's like magic dust, and someone sprinkled it a long time ago, because it's been going on for a long time now.
Fingers crossed it continues to keep going on as well. Right, we're on to something blue. Your idea for some Wycombe Wanderers merchandise that the club are missing out on. Yeah,
well, that's interesting. Now, you mentioned earlier on the light blue for me. So this is a bit of a. So I'm going to say.
What is this?
A nice new car badge. Now, I was given this one a few weeks ago by a chap called Ray Parker, who's a long-time Wycombe fan. I've got, on the front of my car at the moment, I've got a quarters one, which is even older than this, but a nice up-to-date one with the club crest on the front.
Let me show this to the camera. Wow. So this adorns. You've got a car badge. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously these days very few cars have radiators even to put them on. So it is a bit tongue in the cheek, this. But if you've got an older car or a car that that will be very nice. But I mean, that really was tongue in cheek. But I think adhesive badges or so. I haven't seen any in the shop, just to put on your car windscreen or something with the club badge on.
Yeah.
Just. We've got metal badges, but something, I mean, if you came up with something like that, I would have one, but I'd probably be the only one that bought it. So,
well, I mean, a lot of 80s rappers used to wear car badges around their neck, so maybe we could start that fashion again. Are you going to do that as well, John?
Phil, if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me.
You've got a club tie on as well, which I think we should definitely be stocking club ties.
Yes.
I don't wear ties, as people will know, but I think you're rocking a club tie. I think we need to get some good club ties.
Yeah, there's been another one since this, which I've got one of, but I have got a whole sort of cabinet full of them with, and I keep them in there so that I can see them, and then occasionally I'll take an odd one out, a different one from way back when, and wear it.
Brilliant. There we are. Well, John, we are sitting here pre-match in the cold in the players' entrance. Wycombe Wanderers top of the league. Top of League One. So wind the clock back to your first memories of, in the 50s and Wycombe, a famous amateur club.
Yeah.
Surely you wouldn't have been able to imagine the journey this club has been on. All the FA Cup, the League Cup, into the league, the Wembleys, the Championship. What a ride it's been, and it's not over yet.
Absolutely, no. I mean, you couldn't. I couldn't have believed it then, because then there was a divide between amateur football and professional football. So you wouldn't have dreamt that we would ever be part of it. But the fact, if I think about the 6 years, I often think that. I mean, it's been full of joy. I mean, there's been some disappointments. That's football. You know, we haven't always done what we want to do. But I mean, it's been fantastic, really. I mean, the Wembleys, the league titles, going back to Isthmian League days, conference, Martin O'Neill. I mean, I didn't even mention Martin O'Neill. You know, I mean, I had the pleasure of working with him as part of his sort of setup for a little while here, admin, and that was great. I mean, getting in a great bunch of people. You know, it's just wonderful. So I think that we're going to look back on this season, and this will be something really, really special, as special, if not more special, than those that have gone before.
There we are. Well, John, it's been great to pick your brains about Wycombe Wanderers, because you are an encyclopedia of our wonderful club.
Thanks, Bill, and thanks for asking me. I've enjoyed it.
That's it for this week's episode of Ringing the Blues in partnership with Virgin Media. Big thanks to John Bignell for his memories. We'll be back next week with news of our game against Reading at Adams Park. In the meantime, come on you Blues.